Good evening, Bergen County School Board members and guests. I'm Michael Jacobs, President of the BCSBA, and I'd like to welcome all of you here this evening for Celebration 2023, our first in-person in 3 years. At this time, please rise and join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. Can anybody hear me in the back?
Close. Go real close to the microphone.
All right,
Go
thank
all the
you.
way down.
Thank you. All right, let me say again, good evening, Bergen County School Board members and guests. Thank you. As President, thank you. All right, first of all, my name is Mike Jacobs. I'm the president of BCSBA, and I would like to welcome all of you this evening to Celebration 2023, our first in-person in 3 years. At this time, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. That's my goal. Anyway, first of all, let me apologize for the lack of air conditioning. And if any of the districts have any extra capital reserve, Ray Penny will be walking around and collecting. All right, before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge our VIPs. This evening, we have SBA President, Dr. Karen Cordolino. Karen, welcome. Immediate past President Irene LeFay. SBA past President Jeff Fisher. And SBA past President Dan Sinclair. All of you welcome. And I don't know if Lorenzo Richardson is in the house. All right, but I'll call him anyway. He's the president of Hudson County, and we work well together. All right. At this time, I'd like to invite President Karen to come up and share a couple of words with you.
Thank you, Michael. Good evening, Bergen County. You guys are so lucky to have this guy as your president. Thanks for the invitation tonight, Michael. First, I'd like to congratulate our Bergen County Teacher of the Year, Gina DiMaggio. I'm sure she'll have some inspiring words later on this evening. I'd also like to congratulate all of the award winners and milestone winners and certification, earned certification folks here tonight. It just shows the kind of dedication and commitment that you make for public school children, and you do it out of your heart because you don't do it for the money. As Michael mentioned, I am the newly elected president of New Jersey School Boards. I have big shoes to fill in our immediate past president, Irene LeFay, sitting at the table to my left. I see my role as president to be your voice. So if you have any concerns, issues, or just want to talk, give me a call, email, and you can do that with the rest of our officers as well. We just want to make your life as easy as possible, provide whatever you need. So it's so important that you let your needs be known, and we're happy to serve you. I'm going to finish up because I know it's a very large agenda by just saying thank you for your trust I will do my best. And just want to thank all of you for your service to the 1.3 or 1.4. It changes a little bit here and there. Million public school children. Thank you for your dedication to them.
And the President Barron. Right, and I would be remiss if I did not recognize our Bergen County School Board Association Executive Committee for their hard work throughout the year. Bergen County is once again moving forward, thanks in part to them. We have with us Michael Sprague from Norwood. Kathleen Lauderdale. Melody Del Rosso, Old Japan. Diane, 35-year older, and then the other. All right, Dr. Alicia Campoliano from Cliffside Park. One mentor, Shelley Dansky, River Edge. Matt Hernandez, Northern Highlander. And last but not least, Bill Barnaskis, Bergen County Special Services. There you go. Also, let me welcome our executive committee nominees. Marlene Somerville from Hackensack. George Tystar Emerson. And for our team members, I just want to let you know that you are in good company. So on behalf of Bergen County's 136,000 students, thank you all for your service. Thank you. All right, now I have to do a little deviation from the agenda. Bergen County Executive Superintendent Lou Delicio, who was supposed to be with us this evening in person, and he would never miss this, especially with our Teacher of the Year, had a calling. He had something to take care of. So at this time, we do have Lou virtual. So take it away.
Thank you, Mike. And first, let me thank you for accommodating my schedule. I really do enjoy attending in person. Unfortunately, I had a conflict this evening, which prohibited me from doing that. But secondly, I wanted to congratulate Gina DiMaggio on being the teacher of Bergen County Teacher of the Year. I've had the pleasure of meeting Gina several times. I was the person who notified her that she was the Bergen County Teacher of the Year. And that happened just about a year ago this time, although the Department of Ed does not make the announcement and the official announcement until August. Gina is a great representative of teachers in Bergen County. She represented Bergen County very well at the state level. She's a model for new teachers. She's a role model. She didn't start out her career to be a teacher, and I'm not going to take anything away from her. I'll let her explain her journey to education herself when she gets the opportunity. Next, I just want to say a couple of words about things that are going on currently at the county office. Of course, like all school districts, we are preparing for the end of the school year. We're finalizing our New Jersey CUSAC reviews in cohort 1 for this year. If you'll recall, that's the Department of Ed monitoring process. Cohort 1 this year, it involved 26 districts in Bergen County that got what we call a comprehensive review. We're finalizing our scores now, which will be sent down to Trenton. And if your district, if you are from a cohort 1 district, you'll get the official scores from the Department of Education probably late July, early August is usually their timeline. We're also getting ready for the next cohort, cohort 2, which again will involve approximately one third of the districts in the county to be monitored during the 23-24 school year. And this is a particularly concerning cohort to us at the county because many of the districts in this cohort 2 have not had a comprehensive review, in most cases, in almost a decade. So you can imagine that many things have changed over the course of that decade. Of course, at the county office, we will work hand in hand with these districts to make sure that they are prepared and understand what the process is, because even the QSOC tool has changed since the last go around for most of these cohort 2 districts. Me personally, I'm in the process of reviewing business administrator and assistant superintendent contracts. As you know, as board members, you submit the contract to my office. We review for comparables and to make sure that they're in compliance with the latest statutes and codes. So I am pretty busy these days trying to get those finished by June 30th, because as you know, the start of our new school year begins July 1. Now, Michael, that's about it from the county office at this time. We're always busy. Tomorrow, I'll be at Bergen Community College at Lyndhurst, where the Department of Ed is doing training for the new threat assessment teams that districts are required to have in place by September. So it's been very well attended throughout the state. We have most of the districts in Bergen County represented tomorrow. Again, this training is taking place at Bergen Community College in Lyndhurst. Very important, this new threat assessment team is a law passed by the New Jersey legislators. And of course, there's always concern in public schools today, not only in New Jersey, but throughout the country for student mental health. And we are very, very in tune to that at the county office. And we appreciate all of the time and effort that our districts give to provide us information. So Michael, again, thank you for accommodating my schedule. As you know, as I say at every meeting, I'm a former board member. I'll always be a board member. Actually, I'm a current board member on 2 boards of education by statute. I serve on the Bergen County Special Services and Bergen County Technical Schools boards of ed. So I'm still in the game, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. And I think what you said, he's always here for us. When I came on, he gave me a cell number. All right. I called him, he calls you back. So this guy really is an ace when it comes to supporting our district. Anyway, I'd like to begin with a small review of 2023. This has been a great recovery year for Bergen County. We beat COVID and are addressing many of the areas that were impacted by it. Remember, education is not static and always changing, and we must continue to think outside the box and come up with creative solutions. BCSBA earlier this year identified 3 areas that were of great concern to public education, all of you: inflation, school security, and mental health. And there is a strong correlation between the 3 of them. Through our programming, Bergen County districts have been put on notice that we are ready to address anything that comes our way. And all of you have done your job, and tonight, board members, we will celebrate your dedication to Bergen County students. Thank you. To begin with, we will hear from our keynote speaker, Bergen County Teacher of the Year, Gina DiMaggio.
Thank you. Hello, can you all hear me? Yes. I'm using my teaching voice / stand-up comedy voice. Some of you know I do stand-up comedy, and a few people asked if I was going to do that, and I would have loved to. Unfortunately, none of my jokes are appropriate for this event. So you're just getting a run-of-the-mill speech. When I was presented with this last year, they called me over to the superintendent's office. My principal walked me down, and I thought I was in trouble, because why else would I be getting called to the superintendent's office? I got there, and the secretary in front said, the superintendent is currently meeting with QSAC, but we were told to interrupt him. So I'm like, oh no, we failed. And it's because of the box on top of my filing cabinet, 2 inches from the ceiling. Great. So instead, I'm going to speak with you about what brought me into teaching and what I feel is important to me in education, because this is the second career for me. The year was 1991. I was in high school. Lady Gaga had nothing on the outfits I created during these years. For my most recent fashion design, stay with me, I had cut a large hole in the crotch of my jeans and turned them upside down to make a shirt. This is pretty creative. My arms were where the legs normally go in jeans, and my head now came out through the newly cut opening in the crotch. I was proud of my craftiness. That is, until I started walking into my high school. I thought to myself, please don't let anyone see me. I was an outcast. Although I had friends, I was made fun of often in school and had trouble finding my place. I often dreaded walking in the halls at school. I knew someone would invariably taunt me for my looks or for not being cool. I somehow made it through the torment and graduated. Flash forward to when I had my son a few years later. Everybody hates me, even the teacher. My son uttered these words and then threw himself onto the couch and cried. He cried most days in school, and this lasted for years. He always felt like an outsider in his classes and felt that even his teachers didn't understand him. I spent years attending conferences and meetings with teachers who tried, but did not know how to reach my son. He ultimately had many difficult years ahead of him, both academically and socially. I raised my son as a single parent, and because I had to drop out of New York University when I had him, I was not able to hold a high-paying job. In fact, I earned a salary so small we were considered poverty level. Despite this hardship, I was determined to help my son succeed in school. I read obsessively about strategies teachers could use to help them with my son. Watching my son struggle day after day, year after year, proved to be the impetus that forced me to want to change the educational environment for children like my son, who do not feel they fit in and were reluctant learners. I only had 14 credits from NYU years before, but I studied and took classes while simultaneously studying for college course equivalency exams. I was able to complete the remaining 106 credits needed to graduate with an English degree in only 1 year. My motivation was unstoppable. I didn't say I did well. My motivation was, I can't stop making jokes, I'm trying. My motivation was unstoppable because I was doing it for my son and other children like him. I then completed an alternate route teaching program, and at 32 years old became a teacher. Today I teach in the same high school I attended, Lyndhurst High School, and every year there's a new set of outcasts who feel they don't belong, who think to themselves, please don't let anyone see me, or everyone hates me, even the teacher. I think about these students often while I teach. Teachers and all adults involved in education need to make sure that even students who don't fit the norm feel embraced in school. No learning can happen until students feel comfortable in their own skin while in school. The whole child must be celebrated, not just the intellect of the child. This same truth goes for each student, whether the student is an outcast or an athlete or an artist. This reminds me of the Breakfast Club at the end, right? Outcast. We're all of these. Or a student who does not know where they fit in yet. Each is more than that one facet of their lives. Each is more than just a student, they're people, individuals with voices worthy of attention. My number one goal as a teacher was to make students want to be there and to feel welcome and accepted. I had been a comedic improviser for years before I became a teacher, and I used improv, which has a framework of acceptance and working together toward a common goal, to make students feel inspired and welcome. Through the years, I've taught second grade, high school science, SAT math and verbal, special education, and high school English. I've also been lucky enough to teach both the highest academically achieving students and the lowest academically achieving students. Although I teach students who are diverse in many ways, I find that the common ground of teaching them is by using a combination of entertainment and empathy while not sacrificing rigor. Many students tend to think of going to school as a place they come because they have to, not because they want to. In some ways, the education system can beat down children's natural curiosity and passion for learning. All students have that within them, but why do so many lose these feelings by the time they get to high school? When students come into my class, they know it is a safe space, one where students of all backgrounds and abilities can feel free to express themselves and be themselves. I think what I think what makes me a good teacher is my constant striving to invent new ways of teaching material that inspires true learning. I love making lessons fun and exciting and hearing students laugh while learning. My classroom is filled with rubber chickens, escape rooms, learning to dance to Charleston, improvisation and games, and English. In addition to being a lively classroom, my room is one in which students of all backgrounds can feel they belong. Posters of authors of varying backgrounds, quotes from prominent thinkers of all backgrounds, and flags of many countries that represent my students' heritage, as well as the LGBTQ flag, decorate my room. Now that I'm a teacher, I understand the vast challenges teachers face on a daily basis, and know that it must have been hard for teachers to know how to deal with my son in school. Yet, despite the many obstacles in education, I cannot help but be constantly reminded of my son's feelings of helplessness in school. And that pushes me to continue to make students' well-being my #1 priority. Empathy is the key. It is important to know the student as a whole self, not just how they appear in the classroom. I'm lucky to live in the same community where I teach, and I often have opportunities to meet families of my students and see them as families, as community members, and as people. My involvement in the school and community has helped me see students in environments outside the classroom, which helps me to see them as people, and not just as students or as their grades or even ability levels in my English class. And even if teachers don't have the opportunity to take part in activities with students outside the classroom, they still can find ways within the classroom to allow students to feel like they're seen as more than just their classroom performance. This creation of a safe space goes beyond the classroom. Teenagers often have a bad reputation. That's right. But it takes a community to work together to help this age group that is often neglected by their community members. It is important to help think of ways teenagers can be proactive community participants. Communities need safe spaces for teenagers to socialize, to work, to exercise, to volunteer, and to live. The work starting to be done in schools to fix our curriculum should be mirrored in our communities. We need to look at what is lacking and work together to make our children feel embraced. As teachers and as community members, we must find ways that allow teachers to be able to grow as individuals by helping to create a safe environment to them. And I want to thank all of you for doing your part in that too and helping our children. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the 9th-year-old Bergen County School Teacher of the Year.
Thank you.
Company and reorganization. You'll make a fortune. So anyway, to move on, we have two outside. Let me just fast track this because I know that everybody is a little hot. All right, now I have the pleasure, I have the honor to present Bergen County SBA's annual RGFA and Janet Low Sense Awards to two outstanding board members. Bergen County SBA established the RGFA Award to honor local board members who exemplify Dr. Hayes' leadership in the field of education and his commitment to the children of Bergen County. Dr. Hayes, former county superintendent, is responsible for setting up Bergen County Special Education Regions and Special Service School District. Now, this year we have 4 nominees, and their information for each nominee was given to an impartial committee of 3 board members outside of Bergen County. No collusion. This year, the committee selected a person who began her board service in 2015. This person has been an active participant in local, county, and statewide educational organizations, as well as community groups. It's my honor to present the 2023 RGFA Award to Paula Colbath, Board Lady.
I like the back of that phone.
Thank you.
This way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm getting my training. All right, in 2002, the Bergen County School Boards Association established the Janet Lobson Award, named in honor of a long-term NJSBA field service representative and former Bergen County School Board member. The purpose of this award is to recognize an individual board member who exemplified Janet's strong commitment to personal and professional development and her involvement in school governance at the local, county, and state level. One nominee stood out for this year's award. She's been a Board of Education member since 2008 and has served as its president since 2011, 12 years. Under her leadership, her district was able to approve a $21 million referendum to repair their school after Hurricane Ida led to massive flooding. It's my honor to recognize the 2023 Janet Lobsense Award, Denise Valani of Prescott.
A second, I promise. Thank you.
Our next award comes from a gentleman that everybody recognizes. And on behalf of the Bergen County School Board Association, I'd like to recognize Bruce R. Young for his service to the children of Bergen County and to the state of New Jersey. From Camden to Cliffside Park, from Trenton to Teaneck, everyone knows Bruce. Bruce could not be with us this evening, so I will accept the award on his behalf. Bruce was a former two-term vice president of county activities for NJSBA, a board member of Bergen Regional. His service to Bergen County included being on the executive committee, serving as our president, and Bruce was elected board member of the year. Now, Bruce is not hanging up his spurs. As a Vietnam veteran, Bruce will now focus his efforts on benefits for our veterans. He is currently serving as the VFW commander for the post 3149 locally. And on the state level, he's a senior vice commander for the district. So Bruce, thank you for your service. And we're sure that you'll bring the same commitment to our men and women in uniform as you've done for the children of Bergen County. Congratulations. BCSBA presented to Bruce Raymond Young in grateful recognition of dedicated leadership, distinguished service, and untiring effort on behalf of the students of Bergen County and throughout the state of New Jersey. Bergen County School Boards Association, May 31st, 2023. Congratulations. All right. At this time, I'd like to invite immediate past President Irene LeFay and Shelley Dansky to come up to the podium. Come on, let's do it.
Yes.
Shelley was not able to attend the board of directors meeting at which we had applied for her, so I decided to bring it here. It says, presented to Shelley Dansky in grateful appreciation of her devoted service to the New Jersey School Boards Association as a board of directors member, and for her dedication to the educational welfare of the youth of this state. And no one knows that better than all of you, the devotion she has to schools. Presented May 2023. So this is a new present.
Thank you.
Shelley, on behalf of, well, actually, I speak as two people. President of Bergen County School Boards Association, and also as an individual who knows a person that has literally changed my life. When I got on the school board late in life, all right, I was a late comer. And my trainer, my mentor, my friend, and you gotta be careful, my consigliere, is Shelley Dansky. She has really shown me the way over the last 3-4 years. So Shelley, I just want to share one story since we're funny tonight, it's a celebration. I go to training, governance 1. So I'm supposed to report to room 12. Okay, I walk in. There's candy all over the place. And there are party hats. I'm a smart guy. Maybe somebody rented the room to have a party for a kid. No. Shelley's way of teaching is one for the books and should be memorialized in history. The symbolism of the candy was she wants to make you fat, but that's okay. However, with the party hats, and this is something, the biggest takeaway for me over the years. Before you open your mouth as a board member, know what hat you're wearing. Are you a taxpayer? Are you a parent? Or are you a board member? This will save a lot of aggravation. So that's my little story. Now, Shelley, let me spin my hat. And I'd like to present to you the Outstanding Service Award presented to Shelley Dansky in recognition of your 33 years of leadership and your extraordinary commitment to education and advocacy for the children of Bergen County, New Jersey, Bergen County School Board Association, May 31st, 2023.
Thank you.
All
I'm done.
We'll take a little class.
right, this time, Shelley's going to change strengths. I want to thank this year's nominating committee,
Oh, I get my speech.
chaired by Shelley Dansky, River Edge, the members Melissa Del Rosso, Old Pan, and Matt Hernandez of Northern Island. For their hard work and producing a great slate of nominees. Now, at this time, I'm going to ask the chair to present the slate of nominees to all of you. Shelley Dansky.
Tonight was not supposed to be about me, but thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. So I want to describe the process of choosing the executive committee and the slate so that you understand what that process entails. So this is the way we select the executive committee. The Bergen County School Board's executive committee is comprised of 11 members. 5 members representing specific regions throughout Bergen County, and 6 members who are considered at large and can represent any region. Only 1 member from a local board is permitted to serve at the same time. The current Bergen County School Boards Association president assigns the nominating committee chairperson. So Michael asked me to do this, and so as I was appointed, I then chose 2 members for my committee, as he said, Melissa Del Rosso and Matt Hernandez. And thank you both so much for all of your help and your hard work. By the way, Melissa's from Old Japan and Matt's from Northern Highlands, just so you know who they represent. So we communicated via email and text and met in person, and we reviewed 15 applicants. It's really unusual that we get that many applicants in 1 year, but we were so pleased to have so many talented people apply. And so they people submitted applications to Bergen County School Boards Association by way of Rob Chera. Rob, where are you? Oh, there you are, by way of Rob. And then they came to us and we reviewed the 15 applicants. And it was a very difficult job because it truly was a very, very talented
group of individuals, and we did not have 15 openings. We had a handful of openings, literally, for these very talented people. We carefully reviewed all the applications and vetted each applicant. We felt strongly that the organization benefited most from a blend of experienced and new executive committee members. We chose the candidates with great care in an effort to balance the executive committee appropriately. All decisions were made by April 15th, and the reason I make a point of telling you that is because I left my board as of April 16th. So we needed to complete all of the work by April 15th in order for me to serve on that committee. And so everything was completed by April 15th. The general membership was notified of the slate in early May. Typically, we would notify 10 days before this meeting. But since we had the information in mid-April, in conjunction with Rob, we decided that we would release the information in early May. And so the general membership received that information about who was on the slate in early May. The bylaws call for a minimum of 10 days of notification, but there were, excuse me, over 20 days of notification. Actually about 30 days of notification. So, but we did not notify the general public until I had personally called each applicant to notify them of our decision, which I felt was a very important thing to do. Many years ago, when I first began applying to be a member of the executive committee, I didn't know until I attended a meeting whether or not I had been selected. And I really think it's not appropriate to do it in that way. I think that people deserve, they put themselves out there. They deserve the ability to know coming into this where they stand. And I also wanted to thank everybody for applying and hope they will apply again in the future. So I did personally notify everyone of our decision before the general membership was notified. I provided everyone with my personal cell phone number and in case they wanted to follow up, and some people did. So I got to speak with many of our applicants. Again, I want to thank all of the applicants and I hope that you will reconsider and resubmit, I should say, in the future, because there truly were many, many talented people we could have chosen, and we did the best we could to choose the best slate for this time. We respectfully submit the slate of executive committee members for your consideration. Each local board receives one vote, and the new executive committee will elect officers at their first official meeting following this meeting. So we do not elect the officers, the executive committee elects the officers. Do you want me to read the slate? Is that okay? Okay, do I have that on this paper? It's on the back, thank you. Thank you. I have it written down somewhere also, but here. So Michael Jacobs from Ridgefield at large, Catherine Norian, Oradell, Region 4, Bruce Pasdar, Emerson at large, Marlene Somerville, Hackensack at large, and Denise Villani, Crestgill at large. We also appointed or are recommending the appointment of Michael Sprague as Board of Directors delegate and Michael Jacobs as alternate. Okay, any other questions? Do you have any questions? And I think Rob's going to take over at this point.
Yes, but she can't do that.
I can't do that, exactly.
All right, anyway, at this point, Robert Sarah will conduct our election, our installation of a new executive committee, along with the recognition of 2021 and 2023 current officers and executive committee. Robert Sarah.
Thank you, Mike. So we will, you just heard the slate. Is there a motion to accept the slate as presented? Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations to your new executive committee. Now, before we install our new executive committee, we just want to thank those members that served the last 2 years as executive committee members. We have Shelley Dansky. And I would great to have you for the new house. Kayla Herbst. Catherine Norian. Denise Villani. And then for the last 2 years, Paula Kovac served as your Vice President of Legislation. Michael Sprague served as your VP Secretary. And Mike Jacobs, your Secretary. I'll go far. I should have, the ones that are returning, I should have told you to stay up here because now you're gonna have to walk up again. So the newly elected individuals, please step forward. That's Mike Jacobs, Catherine Norian, Bruce Pazar, Marlene Somerville, Denise Villani, Mike Sprague, Mike Jacobs. And if you all could raise your right hands. Do you solemnly promise to faithfully administer the duties incumbent upon these offices and agree that you will observe the bylaws and policies of the Bergen County School Boards Association? If you understand and accept all of these charges, signify by saying, I do. It is my pleasure to congratulate you. I now declare the responsibility and privilege granted me for performing this installation that these officers have been duly installed and therefore do now preside over the Bergen County School Boards Association. Congratulations. And like Shelley said, as soon as this meeting is over, we are going to meet quickly with the new board. And tomorrow, when I send out a recap email, I'll let you know who the new officers are.
All right, well, thank you very much. All right, at this point, get back on track. All right, I'd like to turn the program over to NJSBA Director of Member Engagement and Training, Ray Pinney, and Matt Lee, Field Service Representative for the Milestone and Certification Part. Ray.
Thanks, Mike. First of all, Gina, I just want to say that was great. You might need to give us your schedule so that some of us can attend your act, because I think it would be good. Maybe we'll bring back next year as a spring dinner. You have to clean up your act, I guess, because you gave an indication there. But I do want to say one thing about we're facing a teacher shortage in New Jersey, nationwide. And I think we need to have more young people hear the voice of people like Gina. We need to get people interested in the field of education because a lot of them are like Gina. They don't start planning to be a teacher. You weren't thinking of being a teacher at all when you were in high school, when you had your pants over your head. Just surviving. But she made herself not just a teacher, a great teacher. And the way you touched the lives of those kids who were forgotten, I think is so important. And we need more people like you. So I just want to, you really represent the teaching field very well. So we have a lot of people who have a lot of service here. Rob is great. We're not going to read off all the names. We read off the names of the people that are here or online. Hopefully we got that all right. I'll start with basically, I'll start with the milestones. We go in 5-year increments from 10 years, 15, 20, 25. And as I said before, we used to only give these out at 20 years. We started at 20-year intervals. And someone went to our old executive director and said, throw me a bone. I've been on 12 years. Can I get something? So we give them a little certificate and a lapel pin, and it makes people happy. And you know, but 10 years is a long time. It's a commitment. We're measuring commitment. If you add up, Jeff was telling me, he was at, it's like 600 years of service. That's only the people that are in those increments. So we have other people here who have been on, like Shelley was on for over 30 years. And she's probably one of the few people who know who Janet Wilkins is. That myself and Shelley and Jeff and Diane and yeah. These are, oh yeah, and so there's a few of us who've been around long enough to know these are not just names in the plaque, these are people who are committed to the county. So so we'll start with the 10 years. So we'll start. Sally Cummings and from Cresskill. Alan, I'm gonna put you off, I think you have 15, I'm gonna promote you. Holly Morel, just stay up here, we'll get a picture of all the. Yankton. Yankton. From River Edge. Is Noreen Miles virtual? Virtual, yeah. Okay, and Sheila Yellowwood, I believe, is also virtual. Clara Williams, though. 10 years. Well, we could get a hold of me. I think it depends. Okay.
Matt, wanna get a picture? Perfect. Perfect.
Now, for 15 years, Chi Chow from Harrington Park. Laura Genevieve Behrman from Ramsey. Sebastian Rodriguez from Teaneck. And I think Rafael Morella from Richfield is virtual. Oh, and Alan Feige from Riverdale has 15 minutes. Alan, we had you down for 10, but he was on 2 different boards.
This is a superstar, so.
We don't have the certificate.
Thank you.
I'll send that all picture. Okay, hold on. Oh, no, wrong way. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, 20-year milestone. That's quite a commitment to the community. It's almost 7 elections, so look at that way, you know. So that's so we have Andrew Grippa from Richfield. And Keith, can we do it? I He's from Elmwood Park.
Right. Now the real one.
We have one person here for the 30-year milestone. Actually, she got it in the fall, but we're gonna call her up because 30 years deserves a lot. Mary Catherine Norian from Lauderdale. I already went to her board meeting and presented her with her plaque. Just to let you know, John Walsh also has 30+ years on her same board.
You better like it. Right?
Now we have 2 people with 35 years of service on the board. Or more. Actually, we missed it during COVID. We might have missed some people, but we have Joanne Bergman from Paramus. And Joanne, we're talking about the superintendent that she started with, Harry Galinsky, and there are not too many people remember. And you know, Joan, you knew Janet Wilson.
Yes, I did.
And I received the Archie Hay Award.
And she's one of the, she received the Archie Hay Award. And actually, I know our next person also had those awards, Diane Holzberg from Demerick. And Diane, if you don't know, I can't name all the things she's done, but she was president of this on the executive committee of Bergen County School Board Association, on the board of directors, and probably something else that I missed, so. Congratulations. Put them together.
Wow, this is enough to think apart. Thank you.
Now we have the awards for training for school board members. We have 4 levels at the board member academy at New Jersey School Board Association. And these people really need to be commended because they're going to not just their own board meetings, they're going to statewide training, they're going to county meetings, they're going to workshop, they go to the delegate assembly. So I'll go to with each level entailed, just so you should be impressed with the extra effort that they're putting in. First, we have what we call the new board member certification. This is a relatively new certification we started to encourage board members to get training in their first 2 years. They have to get 10 credits within the first 2 years of their training. So we have 2 people here, Marlene Somerville from Hackensack. And Victoria Torvik from Saddlebrook. Hopefully the training certifications are mailed to everyone, so we don't have a plaque to give them right now.
Thank you. You get a picture with Matt. Get a picture with Matt.
You get a picture with Matt, so you know. The next level up is called a certified board member. You have to serve on your board for 3 years. You have to have 20 credits. You have to go to various county meetings. You have to go to a statewide training. You have to go to a delegate assembly and a workshop. So with us, we have quite a few here. This is like the most I've seen. Richard Fallon from Woodridge. Mike Jacobs from Ridgefield. Isaiah Clark from Leonia. Karen Tenner from Elmwood Park. And Deborah Podwin from Bergenfield. Oh, we have one more coming down. Oh, and I just online, Anthony Albro is from New Milford, he's online.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's here.
Sue Chung from Palisades Park, I didn't realize she was here, is also one of our new board members certifications. Sue, come on up, just so we can show you. The next level is a master board member. This takes a little bit more work. You have to get 30 credits. You do additional delegate assembly, statewide training, and delegate assembly. Also, you have to take a test at the end. But for that, you get a tote bag, you get a plaque, and you get a lapel pin. So, now, here's the funny part about the whole thing. We don't have the tote bags because they were back ordered. The supply chain issues has affected all this. So
She has said today they're getting ordered.
they're ordered, but you know, one day. But they get a nice engraved plaque. We hope they wear them. We love our lapel pins at New Jersey School Board Association. So if you get your master board lapel pin and have it, your milestone, you can look like a general. So, for our master board members, we have Alyssa Chow from Fort Lee. Dennis Healy from Rutherford. Mike Jacobs, who just likes getting up here from, Mike Sprague from, Norwood. And Paige, I think I saw you up there. Paige Ryan from New Milford.
Let's take a picture over there so she could be in.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna do something different. Paige is up there. We're gonna get our picture taken in front of Paige. She's just like looking over you. She's gonna look bigger than life. And then our final level is called the certified board leader. This is a tremendous compliment to the county of how many certified board leaders you have. Certified board leader needs 60 credits. They need to do all the additional training. They get a portfolio, another plaque, and another lapel pin. So all you who are master board members, that could be yours next year. I'm looking forward to giving it to you. And those people who are certified, you can get the master board next year. So, we have with us Doran Aspras from Elmwood Park. Heather Garcia from Norwood. Michael Jake. Heather, we miss you. Okay. Mary Klein from Presskill. Michael Sprague from Norwood. And Clara Williams from Teaneck. Heather Garcia, did she? Okay, Heather Garcia is from Norwood. And also, I'm not sure if you're online, is Angela there? Okay.
Let the paparazzi go and then I'll. This is the biggest from the whole state.
Yeah.
It's Bergen.
Don't move. Okay. Don't move, don't move, don't move.
We have
The official picture now.
the rest for practice.
Say master.
All right, I want to stay here. I want to try something. What I want to do is everyone who got an award, whether it was a milestone or a training, come back and we'll get a picture of all the award winners in Bergen County that we can put in it. So that will look pretty impressive to the rest of the state. So if you got a milestone, if you came up here, come on. Andrew, come on. Come on, Dennis.
In the hottest room. We're all sweating already.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, but that's great. Okay.
Come on, get close together.
Got you all. Got everyone. Keep it Denise back up a little. Thank you. Say one, I mean, I don't know. Just smile.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, cheese. Oh, look how pretty.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna have Matt give his field service update quick. If I don't see you, have a great summer. This is the last meeting. I hope the end of the year goes great. And I look forward to seeing everyone at a workshop next year in person. So Matt, please, is gonna give you a report from the field.
Thanks, Ray. Anybody else chilly? Just me? So just two quick things tonight, because we are that time of year. Superintendent evaluations are underway at a bit of a slower pace than they have been in the past. So if you haven't begun that process with your board yet, please do so. And also please remember this. The email you get from us that says it's time to go do your part of the evaluation does not have a dedicated link. If you don't get that email, don't worry. Go to the home page, go to the bottom right, click on the evaluations tab, and then you can do it. So don't panic. You're allowed to call me, but don't tell me you can't find your email. The only other thing I wanted to talk about tonight was we in field services have heard your voices over the last few years in terms of the locations of our regional programs, especially those for new candidates and for newly elected board members. So this year, for the first time, we're going to have an eastern location in the north and a western location in the north. So our good friends at Elmwood Park have volunteered to host. Yes, Doug and Keith and all the kids. So Elmwood Park is going to be the host school in the eastern part of the northern region. The dates will be October 4th and October 11th. We're not sure which will be Elmwood Park at this point. The western school district will be Mount Olive, also very convenient off of Route 80. So by having these two locations, we do hope that we're going to have a great turnout in person for these important events. So these will be for candidates briefing and also for the 3 Rs for newly elected board members. The 3 Rs presentations will be on November the 29th and December the 6th. The locations for those are decided. Elmwood Park will be November the 29th, Mount Olive, December the 6th. So anybody who is considering running for the board in your district, please encourage them to come to these meetings. And if they're successful, of course, to the 3 Rs, so that they get a great start on what to expect in their new role as board members. Have a great summer, and I'll see you all around.
Great, Matt. Thank you so much as always for your leadership and the great job you do. We have one more thing, and I know it's hot, but I just want to let you know next year I'm going to ask for black tie optional. So we'll be like, all right, anyway, at this time, last but definitely not least, I want to call up NJSBA former president Jeff Fisher, 50 years, the dean. Jeff is going to talk about and he'll give us the ad hoc dues assessment committee report. Jeff.
After all that, I'm sure the last thing you want to hear is a report about the dues. So I pulled out the condensed version. And I just want to start by thanking Gina for the inspiration. This is my seventh, the dues committee kind of split up the state and we're all kind of going around doing this. This is my seventh county meeting and seventh county teacher of the year that I've heard. And I have to say, every one just gets better than the last one. So Gina, thank you very much for all you do. And congrats to all of the award winners, the certifications, and Ray was close, but it was 655 years of milestones that were earned. That topped my last one at 410 down in Monmouth County. So congratulations to everyone. I'm just going to speak briefly about the work of the dues reassessment committee. The committee was appointed by Irene, our immediate past president, local board members last fall, to evaluate the dues formula and to make sure there were any recommendations for improvement. The committee was responsible for evaluating the formula to determine that it is fair and equitable to the membership and that the association has the resources to maintain current and future services to the members. After studying several different dues assessment methods, the committee concluded that the current one is the best. The formula involves assessing the base amount plus a percentage of the district's current expense budget. As you may know, the NJ SBA budget that was unanimously approved in late March by the board of directors includes a dues increase for most school districts, the first increase in 14 years. And part of that, the work of the committee was untangling the fact that without having run the formula for 14 years, there were issues that had to be resolved. The amount of the dues adjustments that districts will see is going to vary greatly from district to district because they are linked to how much a district's own current expense budget has grown since 2009, the last time the formula was run. People have asked, what are the average dues increases? The average is going to go from 12,262 to 13,114, an increase of $852, an increase of 7%. But I caution you that because of the formula, it'll vary from district to district. We sent out a letter, or the association sent out a letter to all of the VAs and board presidents back in April, letting them know what the dues are going to be. The actual invoices, I think, are going out this week. And unfortunately, we wanted to do that earlier, but we had to wait until the budget was adopted. As I mentioned, the dues have not changed in 14 years. The formula has not been applied during that time, and since they remain flat. We are going to run the formula. We ran the formula this year, and we're going to run the formula every year going forward. This is a catch-up year, kind of like S2. You know, you're going to see districts that are up, districts that are down. We'd also like to note that, you know, the dues increased over the 14 years. Inflation during that time has gone up over 30%. Now, there were two reasons that we were able to keep the association was able to keep their dues level over those 14 years. One of it was a dramatic increase in outside revenue, convention, board docs, you know, other income producing projects. But a significant part of it has been a dramatic decrease in staff. In 1997, NJSBA had 92 staff. In 2013, 10 years ago, that was down to 78 staff. As of today, in 2023, we are down to 56 staff. And Dr. Parnell, when he became executive director last year, started a listening tour, going around, talking to board members, what are the issues? And based on the feedback he received, he plans to add staff to the association to better support the local boards. And included are going to be an additional attorney, so you can get your attorney for the day full returned on a timely basis. Field service rep, because their spread is very thin, and it will give you the opportunity to get an appointment for a strategic plan or whatever it is that you're looking for a lot quicker. An additional professional trainer. You may know that we all now have to have our training done in the first 90 days, not in the first year. So there's going to be pressure to get that done. a county activities coordinator, so Rob doesn't have to go to 10 or 11 of these counties 5 times a year. So we will have 3. And an interesting one is a business administrator in residence who can act as a financial expert and resource to the board. So that your VA, your superintendent, or you as a board member can call, like we have Vince, the educator in residence, and you can get information or get some questions if you want to put them in the right format when you go to your board meeting. We look forward to making NJSBA better than ever and encourage all of you to make use of the Association's many services. I want to point out that your Bergen County Business Administrators, School Business Administrators Association had questions about the formula and the report. And we did about a month ago have a meeting with the officers of that association. I want to thank them and thank you for allowing them to have that. And one of the things that came up was, since a lot of budgets had already been adopted before the dues came out, people were concerned about having to go to the county superintendent for a line item transfer in July because you were going to be over that. It was suggested by them, and we worked out a program where if they want to pay the differential, they can pay it prior to July 1st out of the surplus of this year's budget, and then pay your regular dues out of next year's budget. So if you're interested in that, have your VA contact the association. Normally, I do this in the beginning of the meeting, so I always say I'm going to be sitting at the table over there. If you have any questions, come and see me. But I just want to thank you for all that you do. This is an incredible crowd. And Michael, thank you for having me.
Jeff, thank you very much. And you know, when I celebrate 50 years, I'm going to invite Jeff. I'll be 120. All right, well, I'm going to make everybody happy. It's that time. Once again, I want to congratulate Bergen County Teacher of the Year, Gina DiMaggio. And those board members who were recognized for exceptional service. And completely reminded of the executive committee, please remain behind. And ladies and gentlemen, please mark your calendars. Tuesday, October 3rd, for our first meeting of the 23-24 year. We will be hybrid. So have a great summer, and remember always, Tina, what do we say? Bergen does it better. Good night, everybody.